All right, so I was recently thinking about the idea that I heard someone sharing about how you could use real estate investing for a college savings plan. I heard this recently on the Bigger Pockets podcast, and the host on there was talking about how when his daughter was born, he bought a multi unit property for the purposes of he bought it for her so that as she grew up, by the time she was ready for college, it could be sold and used for college savings. I thought this was an interesting idea. It's not something I've done. I have a college savings set up for my kids, but I haven't done it through real estate. And I wanted to look into some of the numbers of how that works out. So, whether you're parents with young kids, or grandparents, uncles, aunts, or family, or anybody that would like to help a young child with college savings, this information will be helpful. And even if you don't want to do it for college savings, this is, I think, some interesting information about the benefits of real estate investing in general. I'm going to be looking down at my notes and I'll share this with you. So I looked at savings goals for what you would need to save up for college. And right now, obviously these numbers can go up over time, but right now the savings goal they said for public in-state college would be $60,400 and $95,600 for a public out-of-state college and $118,900 for a private college. That's a lot of money. If you were going to save that, for the sake of this exercise, we're going to use the smallest number, the $60,400, meaning it can only be more expensive from here. But if you were going to use that number as an example, if you're going to save it over the course of, say, 15 years, that would be $4,027 per year in savings that would be needed. So that is $336 per month saving just for college, not for any other savings or rainy day. That's just the money going just for a college savings plan. So what if there's another way to save that money over the 15 years? So again, I heard Brandon Turner from the Bigger Pockets podcast share about how he did that. So I wanted to use it on a real life, local real estate investment and use the numbers from that to see how it would work out. Okay, so this one was a townhome in West Jacksonville, and it was purchased for $112,000. So in December of 2019, just passed, it was purchased for $112,000. So the down payment and closing costs on this unit came out to about $30,250. Those are the actual numbers of what the down payment and closing costs came out to. So ironically, that is the almost exactly half the number that we're talking about how much money to save for college savings, $60,400. So the monthly payment, taxes, homeowners association costs for this property come out to $778.89. That's the total monthly expenses for the payment, taxes, and homeowners association costs. We're going to talk about a couple different ways that you can make income from this property. The first one being cash flow. This property is now rented out. There's a tenant in place with a 2-year lease, and the monthly rent is $1,200 per month. That's the going rent rate for these units in this community. Again, the expenses are less than that. So the monthly cash flow is $421.11. That's the money that's coming in above the expenses. So if you were to multiply that by 12 months, that comes out to $5,053.32 per year. That's your annual cash flow. So let's deduct 10%, planning for maintenance and vacancies over the year. So deducting 10%, that's going to bring our yearly cash flow down to $3,613.32. So if you multiply that amount by 15 years, it comes out to $54,200 in profit over 15 years. $54,200 in profit from this rental property. So cash flow, that's one where income's coming in. Another one is amortization. So over this time of 15 years, the mortgage is getting paid down, and it's getting paid down with the help of your tenant. So calculating the math over 15 years, you will have paid down an additional $27,320.62 over that 15 years. So in that time, you've got that much more equity, $27,320.62 of equity, because your tenant has helped you pay down that mortgage over that time. Now, a third way of making income off this property is appreciation. So there's two things that maybe we haven't considered yet. One, the home is going to go up in value. And then two, what if rent rates go up over that time too? So first, let's talk about the home value. So I looked, and 15 years ago, January of 2005, the median sales price for Northeast Florida was around $165,000. Comparing to now, 15 years later, the median sales price for January of 2020 was just under $230,000. That is a 39% increase in the median sales price in Northeast Florida over that time of 15 years. So if the property that we're now talking about were to go up by 39% over the next 15 years, then that would be an increase of $43,680 in the value of the home. So let's put these numbers together. We've got cash flow, where the cash flow is $54,200. We've got the amortization, where we paid down the mortgage, $27,320 of extra equity there because the tenants have helped us to pay down that mortgage. And then also the increase in the value of $43,680. So with these projected numbers, that would mean that over the course of 15 years, those numbers added up would be $125,200 that could be potentially used towards college savings. So again, the amount that we were going for was $60,400. And in that search that I did, the highest number that we were looking for was $118,900. So with the investment, the initial investment of $30,250, we're seeing profit here of $125,200 over that 15 years. Now, what's interesting is that this number did not even include your original down payment. So that original down payment that I mentioned at the beginning wasn't even factored into this. So that means that all this $125,200 profit is there, and you could still potentially get your initial investment back after that time. That $30,000 that you had put in as the initial investment, you could get that back and still have this profit of $125,200. Another thing, what if rent rates also go up over 15 years? So again, this particular townhome community, I looked back to when they were first built in 2006, and rent rates have gone up 45% since 2006. We did all the previous numbers based on the rent rates staying at $1,200 for our cash flow and everything. But if rent rates grow another 45% over the next 15 years, that means by the end of that 15 years, we'd be getting an additional $540 per month in cash flow, which is an additional $6,480 per year. So if we hold on to it longer, we're getting even more significant returns from that cash flow and paying down that mortgage even faster. So if the idea came at the end of that time to keep it as an investment property, it's actually only producing more and more profit. So this could be a very valid way, a great way to start a college savings plan for a young child that you love, to start that process where you can get that initial investment back if you wanted to, and they could get that money that they could use towards college savings, or to use towards purchasing a home of their own, or to use towards launching a business. The point is that this investment, we see the returns that can come from an investment like this. If you have any other questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. You can also browse homes in Northeast Florida from my website, www.dandandan.com. That's www.dandandan.com.